guys, what's up? It's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So in the video today, I wanted to vlog about my OB-GYN rotation. So I wanted to vlog about my first day in OB-GYN, but unfortunately this was yesterday. It was so busy and it was such a long day. I forgot to vlog. So I'm currently on my second day of OB-GYN rotation and I'm currently on my way to my doctor's office. And I just wanted to talk about it, how it went for those of you who are in PA school and you're about to start your clinical rotation. For those of you who are interested in PA school and just want to see how clinical rotations are in PA school or interested in OB-GYN in general. So OB-GYN, what does it stand for? Obstetrics and Gynecology. So for those of you who are interested, hopefully this video is helpful for you guys or you guys find it interesting, okay? So I'm currently on my way to my doctor's office. The commute is about 15 to 20 minutes. That's with traffic, so it's not that bad. So I usually leave my house around 7:50. It's currently 8:05 and I get there around 8:10, 8:15. It really depends, but yeah, 8:05, 8:10 around that time. So I'll just sit in the parking lot and just wait until 8:30 because my doctor's office opens at 9. He sees patients from 9 to 5. And I usually get there at 8:30 because that's when all the staff gets there and they start getting everything prepared. They get all the rooms prepared, make sure it has the proper gowns, make sure all the utensils are clean, etc. And then the doctor starts making usually notes that he wasn't able to make the prior night, etc. So that's why I get there at 8:30, just so I can talk to the nurses and staff, just in case the doctor starts seeing patients earlier than 9 p.m. So my doctor has sole practice, so basically it's just him in the office. He sees about 20 to 30 patients a day, so he sees a lot of patients and he's really busy. And then on top of that, he's doing surgeries and he's delivering patients and he's rounding on patients that are in the hospital. So he's a very, very busy man and he's such a great doctor. So I'm really, really blessed that I was able to shadow him and be able to follow him because he's just a fantastic doctor. I would make him my own doctor even. I'm also even considering that because he's just a great doctor. And so my first day, so how did it go? So I got there, got to the clinic, 8:30 went in, and then we started seeing patients at around 8:50, 9 around that time. And we were seeing patients back to back, and this doctor is amazing because he actually sits down with his patients and he talks to them and he informs them and educates them about their illnesses, etc. And he's been seeing these patients for a while. Most of these patients that he sees, he knows everything about them. He knows their children. He's probably delivered more than a few of their children. He knows about their spouse. He knows their personal life. So he's just, I think that's just a great doctor. And on top of that, his staff is just amazing. So I think it's an amazing clinic. And so he sees patients all ages. Usually they're pregnant in their early pregnancies, sometimes 15, 16, 17, all the way up to like elderly patients like around 80, 86, 87, 88. So he sees a wide range of variety of patients and ages, and of course they're all women. And for different complaints, whether it's a pregnancy, just to follow up weekly or every 4 weeks to see how the pregnancy is doing, whether it's a patient who is having issues with their like hormonal imbalances or abnormal vaginal bleeding, or even elderly women who are having abnormal bleeding, which is not very common in elderly women, correct? Because they've gone over menopause, so postmenopausal women, and etc. He does biopsies, he does all these surgeries, hysterectomies, etc. He does everything. He's just a great doctor. An elderly doctor. He's been practicing for about 30 years plus. So he's a great doctor. So we saw patients from around 8:59 till around 6, because even though the clinic's closes at 5, he takes walk-ins, so sometimes that does delay the time he gets out. So on Monday we got out around 6, I think it was 6:15, when we finished, and he finished charting all his patients, etc. But usually the staff has an hour and a half lunch in between. It's around 11:30 to 1, and unfortunately during this time he had a patient from the previous night that was in the hospital concerning delivery. So once we finished seeing the morning patients, we went to the hospital, so I followed him to the hospital. And we went to the hospital to round on this patient, and this patient was not dilated yet, so the patient was not ready to deliver yet. So the doctor just gave him some oxytocin. So oxytocin usually just increases your contractions. And so the doctor gave the patient oxytocin and said, you know what, we're going to go check up on her once we're out of the clinic. So he rounded out her, etc., rounded another patients that were in the hospital, and then after that we drove back to the clinic, and it was about 2 by the time we got back. No, it was about like 1:40, 1:50, and then he started seeing his patients again. And he started seeing his patients again until till around 5 or 6 p.m. And then he called the hospital and checked up on his patient, the patient that was about to deliver or was in the process of having contractions to deliver, just to see how she was doing. And they told her that she was still not dilated enough. So he told me, you know what, go get something to eat, since I hadn't eaten anything in the morning and I was starving. So I went to go get something to eat, and he's like, I'll call you whenever I go back to the hospital so you can follow me. So I'm like, okay. So I went to go eat, and I was just trying to eat as fast as I could because I was nervous. I'm like, what if he calls me and I'm eating in between and I have to be there? So I got something real quick to eat, and then he told me, if I don't contact you within a certain time, just call me or text me, because sometimes I'll forget. So he ended up notifying me, hey, I'm at the hospital. So I ate quickly, I drove to the hospital, and we went to the hospital again. And we were there waiting for the patient to see if they could deliver. So the patient was still not dilated enough. So he increased the oxytocin. We waited a few minutes, about half an hour, and still not dilated. He's like, okay, I'm going to wait another half an hour. So he waited another half an hour. So it was about an hour now. Still not dilated. He's like, okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes. And we waited about 15 more minutes, and the patient was not dilated. So every single time between these intervals, he was going and checking on the patient, or a resident that was on the hospital was also checking on the patient, measuring their cervix, etc., doing a pelvic exam just to see how the baby was, where the baby's head, and how far and dilated the patient was. And so this patient was not ready to deliver yet. So unfortunately, he had to do a C-section. So by that time, it was around 9:30 or 9:40 at night. So he went to go do a C-section. He was very gracious enough to allow me to see the C-section. So we went to the OR. They started prepping the patient. We waited, and then finally we started doing the procedure around 10. So 10 p.m. at night. So he did the C-section, and it was amazing. I think it's the most amazing thing that I've seen in my life. It was fantastic to see how the baby was born, and it was just fantastic, and I loved it, and I got so emotional, like I wanted to cry in the OR, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. But it was just amazing, and I loved it. And so he delivered the baby, etc. And by that time when we were done, it was like 10:30 or 10:40 at night, and I give him props because he is running all over the place the entire day, whether it's his clinic, seeing his patients in the hospital, or doing surgeries or procedures, and he's just a very happy man the entire time. So I give him props. And you really have to love OB-GYN, really have to care for your patients to be such a great doctor like him. So yeah, that's how my day was. It was actually pretty long. So I drove home, got home around 11, I showered, and then I went to sleep because I was just exhausted. And then on top of that, I hadn't eaten, so I was starving and I was cranky. But yeah, that's how my first day of OB-GYN went. I'm surprised because, so I had done already my first rotation of ER, and I was really looking forward to it. It wasn't as fruitful for me as I thought it was going to be, and I didn't enjoy it as much. Maybe it may have been because of my preceptor. I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much, even though I worked in the ER, and that's what I want to do as a PA, is work in the ER. But I don't know, I'm really enjoying my OB-GYN rotation. I'm really enjoying seeing those ultrasounds, seeing the baby, finding the fetal heart tones, measuring the fundus. So fundus is basically measuring to see how far along the patient is, how many weeks pregnant they are. So I'm really enjoying that, and I think I may want to go into that, so we'll see. So I just wanted to vlog about how my first day went, for those of you who are interested to see how OB-GYN is. It really depends on your preceptor, of course, but good thing I got a doctor, and he does everything. He's smart. He's been doing this for a while, and he really, really cares for his patients. So I think that's what's making my OB-GYN rotation a lot more fruitful and I just love it. So I actually look forward going to clinic, which is amazing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you guys have any questions or any comments or anything like that, make sure you comment below. And then I'll let you guys know how my entire OBGYN rotation went and whether I liked it, because it's just been my first day, so I haven't completed the entire rotation. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be after several weeks in my rotation. So yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching my videos. Like I said, I'm going to make a video towards the end just to tell you how my entire OB-GYN rotation went. So far, I'm really liking it and I love it. And yes, I use glasses. I feel like my vision's been getting worse since I started PA school. So I wear glasses now. I found that when I wasn't wearing glasses in the clinic, they would ask me questions and sometimes I couldn't answer them correctly, or in the hospital when I was in the ER, because I couldn't see. So I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna start wearing glasses, and then once I'm out of PA school, or even if I can, I'll probably get contacts or get LASIK surgery. But yeah, alright guys, thanks for watching my videos. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.